Hi, welcome to Muzzle First. Today I wanted to talk about the Ruger LCP. We're going to do a field strip and reassemble it. Disassembling the LCP is really not that bad at all. You can be done toolless. I prefer to use a tool to disassemble it, and I'll show you that real quick. This is just a cheap Bulldog case. Rather inexpensive case, works rather well though. It's held up really good over the last couple of years. First thing we want to do is we want to make sure it is unloaded. Alright, so the gun is clear. I'm going to move the ammo clear out of reach so I can't get to it there. Alright, so this assembly of the Ruger LCP is really pretty simple. It's really held together by just one little takedown pin. And you can actually pull it out with your fingernails, although for me it's a little rough on my fingernails. I prefer to use something else to do it with. You can use a screwdriver. I don't like using a screwdriver because you have a chance of actually scratching the slide. I prefer to use something plastic. If you have just a little zip tie will work just fine on this. So all you got to do is just hook anything underneath that pin. You want to and just pop it up. Just get it started. That's all you got to do. Just get that little pin started. See that? Just pull that pin out. Slide will come right off the frame. Set the frame aside. Alright, so inside the frame you got a couple parts here. You have your springs. It is a two-piece spring. The spring is this inside spring is a special spring. It's flared out on one end. The outer spring is just a straight spring. Nothing really that special about it. When you put these back together, you do want to make sure you get these in the right order though. And I'll show you that here in a minute. This is the guide rod. One thing with the Ruger LCP you want to watch out for, you want to inspect your guide rod. Whenever you take it apart, you just want to look at the edge of it. The guide rods on the LCP have a tendency to get pings in them. They'll start getting little dings. I can feel mine. Mine's a little rough, but it doesn't have any. There's no spots in it that's actually that bad yet. So those are really cheap to replace. You can probably call Ruger. They might even send you a replacement if yours becomes damaged. But I just consider it a wear part, and I just replace it as needed. All right. Then you got the barrel. That's all you need to do for a field strip. From here, we would clean everything and just reassemble. Reassembly is pretty easy. Your barrel goes right back in the slide. You can see that there is a slide here at the hole at the end. Make sure you get the very bottom. Situate it right there. Your springs go together. Your small spring goes inside the larger spring. Guide rod goes on the back. Just make sure that the flared end goes toward the muzzle. Alright? Insert it right in there. Position it right on top of that. So that's all we're looking at right there. You just want to position it right on top of that like that. Your slide. While you have the Ruger LCP apart, it's not a good idea really to pull the trigger. You kind of need to have the trigger set in order to reassemble it. So I generally just leave the trigger alone. When I clean it, I do clean around the hammer, but yeah, you probably don't want to pull the trigger. If you do, you got to reset it. So slide it right back on the slide. There we go. Take down pin. Just want to take a little bit of the pressure off of it. Oh, that's all you got to do. There you go. Make sure it cycles. You're good to go. Ready to put the ammo back in it. Call it done.